So you've played through everything that Star Wars Battlefront has to offer, which admittedly wasn't a lot, but it was fun. Destiny's raid has been conquered numerous times. Even the Wasteland in Fallout 4 with its hundreds of hours of potential is starting to look stale. You want more content, obviously. You need more content. It's not a strange phenomenon at all, because you want to keep playing your favorite games forever. It's funny to look back on the old days when games were one and done. When one finished Metal Gear Solid or The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and we mean really finished both games, collecting all the heart pieces, golden skulltulas, VR missions, etc., there would be something else to play. In this day and age, with so many awesome games at the indie level and AAA level, it's interesting how some gamers want to stick with the same game forever. You could call this the Halo 2 effect. For many gamers, Halo 2 and then Halo 3 were the only games they would play for years. The fact that Forge mode allowed for endless maps and modes to be created is a different matter. With regards to developers delivering, are players getting a little too caught up with fresh content in their favorite games? On the one hand, it's understandable. Maybe Star Wars Battlefront really wasn't enough for some players. Maybe Fallout 4 wasn't as big as many of us imagined. Maybe Rainbow Six Siege really could have done with more. And Destiny, well, let's not get started on Destiny. It's an interesting atmosphere because of upcoming games like Dying Light the following Enhanced Edition, which provides a revamped base game with bounties, legendary levels, and of course, a large new map with lots of missions to explore. Will that be enough for players? Will The Division, which has a large amount of content locked in its beta and will include free updates and expansions post-launch, be enough for MMO addicts when it finally releases? Again, it's funny when you look at games like The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt or Bloodborne. These are titles which delivered hundreds of hours of entertainment for fans and have each received one expansion thus far. Both games are beloved for their base experiences and the new content that their expansions provide. Has there been a ton of complaining for new stuff to do in either game? Maybe players are just satisfied with what they've got. And honestly, when you consider both were Game of the Year winners, it's hard to point at any multiplayer title in 2015 and praise them as perfect. Should developers be more open with their communication? Should they talk about things that are still very much in development and risk expending all excitement months in advance? Or should they wait and just reveal things at the right time? Believe it or not, but a lot of post-launch content can be planned in advance and not released for years. Does that mean developers are holding out on you? Most times, they just want to get it right. The point of the matter is, no one is finicky or entitled for wanting to play their favorite game forever. For that matter, no one is wrong for wanting new content, and developers aren't wrong if they're not in a position to supply new content. Because at the end of the day, if you really do get tired of a game, you'll move on to something else. That's what happened with Titanfall, even when people loved the gameplay. But guess what? They're making a new one. Sometimes you don't need new content for the same game forever. Sometimes you just need to sit back and enjoy some games while they last. Yes, we know your friends want you to raid for the millionth time despite the fact you get nothing, but if you're not having fun, it's okay to say no. What are your thoughts on post-launch content in games? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next time.